Welcome to KBHU Weekly Updates for the week of October 10th. I'm Alex Mentel.
And I'm Jackie Robles.
Ready for a bike ride? On Saturday, October 15th, students can meet at the Student Union at 9 a.m. to join in on a cruise down to the Spearfish Farmers Market.
October 13th is Campus Sustainability Day. This day celebrates sustainability in higher education. The Buzz Shack will be promoting sustainability by offering discounted coffee to all coffee drinkers using their reusable mugs that morning.
Black Hills State University and the South Dakota Department of Tourism are proud to announce the winners of this year's photography contest and exhibition held in conjunction with World Tourism Day. The theme for Tourism for All, promoting universal accessibility. This year's winners are all mass communications majors at BHSU. First place is Madison Hand, second place is Richard Walby, and third place is Dustin Voss. Jenna Schultz won the special category Tourism for All. Madison Hand was also the People's Choice winner. The World Tourism Day photo competition exhibit opened Wednesday, October 5th in Meyer Hall and will close December 5th.
The Spearfish Volunteer Fire Department is currently recruiting volunteers. The way volunteers are being recruited and retained has changed. Citizens are being given the opportunity to volunteer at different levels. You can operate the truck, help with fire prevention programs, or be a full-time firefighter at the end of the hose line.
Mark Sachera is the first full-time paid fire chief since 1881 for the Spearfish Volunteer Fire Department. Sachera and recently hired administrative assistant are recruiting an assistant chief who will be in charge of training. The rest of the department is all volunteer run, and Sachera says their primary focus is recruiting more volunteers. Sachera says this problem is an ongoing problem faced by volunteer fire departments across the country. None of this happens without the citizen volunteers.
And now we go to Jace Winsel's Professor of the Week, featuring Dr. Jeff Waring.
My name's Jeff Waring. My students call me Dr. Jeff, and I am originally from Pennsylvania, and I came out to Spearfish, South Dakota. I teach entrepreneurship classes and small business management. I also teach organizational behavior classes, so other types of management classes, I guess. That's what my PhD is in, is organizational behavior. I came to Spearfish because I actually did the opposite of what you're supposed to do with a resume. Is I designed the resume, or my resume and my job applications. I just wrote a single one based upon the job I wanted, and then sent it out to different schools and said, hey, does this match you? And it turned out it matched Black Hills State, which a school I had never heard of in a town I had never heard of, and it matched exactly what I had put down in my cover letter. And so it was like, okay, this is a fit. If I could be any animal, it would be a flying squirrel. I think they look cool. I've always loved squirrels, the fact that they're these small, almost person-like animals, but incredibly muscular. But I like flying squirrels because they're kind of deceptive, whereas they'll do things that you would think, oh, a normal animal can't do this, and then all of a sudden a flying squirrel's able to do it, and that kind of surprises me. And so, I don't know, I think that would be a cool animal to be. I would say neither. I'd say I'm more of a farmer. And so, hunting and gathering I look as being very similar to each other. So in both cases, you're going out there and trying to find something that already exists and you know what you're looking for. Personally, I like to just kind of, throw seeds on the ground and see what springs up. And so my approach is I try lots of different things. And so, I'll put together lots of different proposals of things that we can do in classes and just see what takes. And I guess unlike a normal farmer, I don't actually like to know what kind of seeds I'm throwing on the ground. So it's just random stuff and see what actually picks up and grows. I'm actually very introverted. And so that's something a lot of my students don't know about me. And so, when I'm in front of the class, I try not to portray it. I believe that, if you can be introverted and yet act extroverted, that's going to actually help you a lot in life. That was something that Dave Ulrich told me. And so, I don't know, I think that's something that I try to do in my own life. I joke that, I went to college for 11 years just so I'd have a captive audience for my stand-up routine. And so that's my way of trying to push myself out of, my own box, being so naturally introverted.
BHSU Campus Activities Board and the Connection Church are taking over the Student Union on Friday, October 14th. Starting at 6 p.m., there will be laser tag, coloring, henna, karaoke, prizes, minute-to-win-it, pizza, and chicken wings. All activities are free, and the event ends at 10 p.m.
Spirit of the Hills Wildlife Sanctuary is an animal rescue organization. Operating since 1999, it has provided a peaceful, lifelong home for rescued, surrendered, retired, and orphaned animals from private owners, breeding facilities, and the entertainment industry, according to its website.
The Wildlife Sanctuary finds itself in the spotlight as tragedy recently struck. Lawrence County Sheriff's deputies arrived on the scene at the sanctuary shortly before midnight to reports of a tiger on the loose. It was discovered the sanctuary's director, Michael Wachinski, had been mauled by a large Bengal tiger, which was still at large. The deputies secured Wachinski, then located the tiger. When the tiger attempted to flee through an open gate, a deputy used a rifle to kill the animal and prevent its escape. In the wake of the attack, USDA and Ohio Department of Agriculture officials transferred 18 large animals on Tuesday morning, including 10 big cats, 7 bears, and 1 wolf hybrid from the Spearfish Preserve to the USDA-licensed Wild Animal Sanctuary in Keensburg, Colorado.
During a prepared release, Spirit of the Hills stated, "Further removals of exotic animals by the USDA may be forthcoming. It was felt that there were too many animals in the care of the sanctuary given their resources of staff and funding. At this time, the Western Hills Humane Society and trained volunteers are assisting with care and feeding of the remaining animals, and all of their needs are being met. Dr. David Elsom will continue as acting veterinarian for the sanctuary."
Black Hills Tiny Cabins and Cottages recently held an open house event for 308 square foot cabin. The firm is based out of Spearfish, and the recent cabin is built to be moved upon purchase. The cabin features a full kitchen, living room, loft, sleeping space, bathroom with stand-up shower, and featuring modern amenities. Owners and locals Corey Aldrich and Joe Palmer embrace the minimalist living that goes along with the tiny house movement and have each downsized their own living. The open house drew in more than 300 visitors. The tiny homes are known to appeal to young professionals and seniors looking to downsize. Aldrich said he is working with local planning and zoning officials on regulations for tiny homes. Some municipalities have resisted the smaller homes because some designs are not anchored, or because the small cottages generate less property tax revenue.
For a touch of the arts, KBHU-TV's Amanda May spoke to art education senior Chelsea Crummers about her work and plans for the future.
My name is Chelsea Kramers. I'm an art education major. I am from Gillette, Wyoming, hoping to go back and teach high school or elementary school in Gillette, and I do primarily 3D.
What inspires you in your art?
Mostly things that I've gone through in my life or I'm going through right now. A lot of my stuff has to do with home and like where your home is and kind of like the idea of displacement. And also I do a lot with food for some reason. The idea that like we don't really know what's in our food. I've done drawing, painting with different types of like oil paint, acrylic. I paint a lot of like wooden bowls, metal smithing, welding, ceramics. I don't know. I do better in the 3D things. I like to make like small jewelry or small sculpture and ceramics mostly. I'll be showing in the senior show in May at the Opera House.
Okay. And so what do you hope to do with your art?
I hope to relate to people, I guess. I hope that people see my art and understand like that they might be going through what I'm going through. I guess too, a lot of my art does deal with like stuff that I've dealt with medically. So I do a lot with like veins and scars, and I hope that people can relate to that and understand it.
The last day to register to vote in South Dakota is October 24th. College Republicans and Democrats at Black Hills State University are trying to get students to engage in politics early on. Young voters are a large part of the voting population and the future of our nation. The goal is to get students to stay informed and vote to tackle the issues that matter to them. One college student, Brian Schurgar, says, "In the last election, we had less than half of college-age people, ages 18 to 29, voting. If we want issues that matter to us to be represented, then we need to get out and actually vote."
Now we transition into the world of sports. Wyatt Bills interviews Jacket of the Week, Danny Torpy.
The Lady Yellow Jacket volleyball season is well underway, and the chase for conference positioning is heating up. With a large stretch of home games right around the corner, the Lady Yellow Jackets are seeking to bump, set, and spike their way up the standings. I discussed this possibility with Jacket of the Week, Danny Torpy.
Really dedicating ourselves to getting better every day and to be successful here at conference. We want to make top 8, which puts us at the tournament at the end of the year. So that's our big goal right now. So we're just climbing the mountain to make it up there.
Playing at home is always a privilege for student athletes, and Torpy says she always welcomes the cheers of a friendly crowd.
I think the most exciting thing about playing at home is how much student support we have and how much community support we have. So that's always fun to come and perform for all these people that are investing in us. And that's something you don't see at other schools, so it's a real treasure to have.
The Lady Yellow Jackets have had Danny amongst their ranks for quite some time now, and she says the draw of a campus like this one is a major reason for sticking around.
I am a 5th-year senior, so I took a redshirt year, and my freshman year I lived on the dorms, and then I don't know, I've just had an awesome time. I've stayed around for this long, I guess, but I love the campus and I love being outdoors, so it's a good spot for me, and I just love the education program here, so it was a win-win.
Torpy says that she has been drawn to volleyball from a very young age, and with the help of some family ties, has been honing her skills for many years. After her days on the hardwood come to a close, Danny is looking ahead to a career in education.
And my goals for the future are to be a teacher and to get my master's and doctorate degree.
As the race to the tournament continues to narrow, you can be sure to look onto the court and see Jacket of the Week, Danny Torpy, making an impact. Be sure to come out and support the Lady Jackets at home this Friday and Saturday, as well as with our rivals, the Hard Rockers, on Tuesday, October 11th. This has been Wyatt Bills with KBHU-TV.
BHSU Environmental Sustainability Student Organization, or ESSO, is holding a movie night on October 20th from 7 to 9 p.m. at the Jacket Zone in downtown Spearfish, featuring Just Eat It, a food waste story. This documentary is about how we waste billions of dollars in food alone in North America.
There is a free Black Hills Bands concert on October 15th at 7:30 p.m. Friends of Music collects donations at the door to benefit scholarships for student musicians. Contact Christopher Hahn for more information.
BHSU Art Club is hosting a brew and brush at Crow Peak Brewing Company at the corner of Old Highway 14 and Evans Lane. The painting session begins at 5:30 p.m. on Tuesday, October 25th, and is being led by art professor and painter Rachel Stiff. Contact her for questions at rachel.stiff@bhsu.edu. It is limited to 24 painters. Art Club will be there to help in holding sales on site to raise funds for their trip to the Denver Art Week the first weekend in November.
KBHU Weekly Updates is a student-produced program. If you have any suggestions for program segments, email us at kbhu@gmail.com.
Also be sure to follow us on Facebook and Twitter. That's all we have for this week. Thank you for watching KBHU Weekly Updates. I'm Alex Mentel.
And I'm Jackie Robles.